Greetings to you this day. This is Michelle Strickland, and I'm coming to you today with my daily theology lesson. It's my daily meditation I do for myself. I record it and I release it because maybe somebody else out there can get something out of it. It just so happens that I love God and I love theology. I want to become a better principled person. Choose God this day. The bad guys, they sin. The good guys, we sin. We all sin. It's whom you serve. You don't have to be perfect. No one is. That doesn't mean that you don't have to deal with your consequence, good or bad. None of us get away from that. But if you choose God, if you have issues you're dealing with, if you bring them over to His side, He'll help you get through it. You don't have to be perfect. No one is. No one. Love yourself. If you love yourself, if no one else loves you, if you love yourself, you'll be okay, And never give up on yourself. If you lost everything you have, if you have yourself, you have everything. You can always rebuild, For those of you just tuning in, I focus out of 3 major religious texts. The Bible, the Quran, and I'm in an introductory Buddhist text called The Shape of Suffering. It deals with dependent co-arising. Without no this, there's no that. And everything that we say and do has an effect on our senses. I try to rotate the text at least twice a week, sometimes more, sometimes less, depending on how I'm led to meditate each day. We're back in the rotation for the Bible. I'm in Mark chapter 9. I'm still in chapter 9. I'm going to pick it up at verse 9. It's a long chapter, so I don't know how far I'll get. And these, we're dealing with recollections and stories that people have of Christ and some of the miracles that He had performed. And as they came down from the mountain, He charged them that they should tell no man what things they had seen till the Son of Man were risen from the dead. And they kept the saying with themselves, questioning one another what the rising from the dead should mean. And they asked him, saying, why say the scribes that Elias must first come? And he answered and told them, Elias verily cometh first and restoreth all things, and how it is written as the Son of Man, that He might suffer many things and be set at naught. I'm going to look up who Elias is this week. And the difference, I can't remember, Elias and Elijah are different people, I believe, and Elijah, and I'm going to talk about it. Let me go over this again. But I say unto thee that Elias is indeed come, and they have done unto him whatsoever they listed, as it is written of him. And when he came to his disciples, he saw a great multitude about them, and the scribes questioning with them. And straightway all the people, when they beheld him, were greatly amazed, and running to him, saluted him. I might have skipped a verse, but I'm going to keep going. And he asked the scribes, what question ye with them? And one of the multitude answered and said, Master, I have brought unto thee my son, which hath a dumb spirit. And whosoever he taketh, or wheresoever he taketh him, he teareth him. And he formeth, let me reread that. And wheresoever he taketh him, he teareth him. And he foameth and gnasheth with his teeth and pinneth away. And I spake to thy disciples that they should cast him out, and they could not. So it's talking about his son had like a demon. He was demon possessed, And he was given the symptoms and the signs of his demon possession. That was what he was describing. He answered him and said, O faithless generation, how long shall I be with you? How long shall I suffer you? Bring him unto me. And they brought him unto him, and when he saw him, straightway the spirit tear him, and he fell on the ground and wallowed foaming. And he asked his father, how long is it ago since this came unto him? How long has he had the demon possession? And oft times it hath cast him into the fire and into the waters to destroy him. But if thou canst do anything, have compassion on us and help us. Jesus said unto him, If thou canst believe, all things are possible to him that believeth. Let me say that again. Jesus said unto him, If thou canst believe, all things are possible to him that believeth. And straightway the father of the child cried out and said with tears, Lord, I believe. Help thou mine unbelief. Jesus saw the people. When Jesus saw that the people came running together, he rebuked the foul spirit, saying unto him, Thou dumb and deaf spirit, I charge thee, come out of him and enter no more into him. And the spirit cried and rent him sore and came out of him. And he was let me say this again. And the spirit cried and rent him sore and came out of him. And he was one dead, insomuch that many said, He is dead. And Jesus took him by the hand and lifted him up, and he arose. And when he was come into the house, his disciples asked him privately, Why could not we cast him out? And he said unto them, This kind can come forth by nothing, but by prayer and fasting. And they departed thence and passed through Galilee, and he would not that any man should know it. Okay, so this was a hard. I don't know why this was difficult for me. I'm gonna stop right there. I'm gonna pick it back up at 31.